What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And today, I want to talk to you about container planting. I have been doing container planting now for probably about 3-4 months now. And I wanted to share with you guys at home the benefits of container planting. If anybody doesn't know what the benefits are, I'm here to tell you. I have had a garden that I have down front, and I'll take you there in a minute, and I'll show you what that looks like. But I've had a garden now, and I've had tomatoes, I've had cucumbers, and they've all done really well. They're still producing and doing well. However, I have had numerous problems with aphids and spider mites and any little tiny pest bug that you can think of. I have had them. And that's all down in my garden. However, I have found that with container planting, and for anybody who does or doesn't do it, I want to tell you, container planting is the way to go. I absolutely love it. There are so many benefits, at least for me, this is just me, there are so many benefits to it, at least I have found. All of my containers, and I have them all sitting there, I don't know if you can see them, but they're all kind of right here behind me. I'll have to go back that way here shortly, but they're all right there behind me. Anyway, again, the container plants, I have had great luck with them. I have zucchini, I have cucumber, and I have tomato, all different types of tomatoes. And I have found that I have less of a pest problem. I do not have, almost none I have on any of my plants. I've noticed as far as mold, downy mildew, any of those diseases, I have less of that also. Now, I will say that I'm kind of right now in a little bit of a battle with my zucchini plant. A little bit of, I believe, downy mildew is going on. Again, it gets really wet and damp at night, so I think that's where that's coming from. I do try to treat everything organically. I prefer not to use chemicals, and that is just me. That is my personal preference. So, anyway, again, container planting. I find that there are so many more benefits to it, at least for me. I have, again, less problems with pests. They are just doing phenomenal. And I mean, I'll take you with me. Sorry about that. I'll take you with me, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. These here, these are my zucchini plants. And I'm sorry, no, this is a squash. And it's doing very, very well. I do have a little bit, if you see underneath here, I do have some yellow and some spots that are going on. I'm sorry, no, this is a zucchini because there is my zucchini growing right in there. Again, like I said, this plant is doing really well. I have had some issues with some squash bugs, and that I will say I did end up having to cave. I did have to use some 7 dust. That I did do. I know, I'm sorry for those of you out there that don't like to use chemicals. For those of you out there that don't like to use chemicals, I apologize. I was at my wit's end. I was having some issues with it, so I did have to cave, and I did put some 7 dust down. Only on the soil, just the top. All I did was dust the top. I didn't dust any of the leaves. I didn't dust any of the flowers. I just simply dusted the top of the soil. This way, you know, I didn't affect the bees because they're super, super important. I didn't affect them because they are, you know, they're the only way that I end up having anything to harvest off of them is through the bees. So, anyway, that is my zucchini. I have this one this is another zucchini. Again, doing really, really well. I do have some yellow spots starting to come in. And what I've used for those, I have used, you know, I've gone back and forth. Again, I don't like to do the chemicals, but I have used Daconil. I use a concentrate. Sorry, it froze. I use a concentrate Daconil. I put it into a pump sprayer. I do about 3 tablespoons of Daconil to a gallon pump sprayer, and then I spray everything down underneath the leaves, the top of the leaves. And I found that it has worked. However, I am still having a problem with them turning yellow. And again, I think that has to do with the weather that I have here at night. It's just damp, it's a little wet. So I think that's what's going on here. I did, however, get a copper concentrate, which is organic. I did spray my leaves down last night with that. So we're going to see. I don't know what's going to happen here. All I know is I'm trying to do the best that I can to make sure that, you know, I don't lose the whole entire plant, because I did have a zucchini plant down in my garden that unfortunately I did lose due to downy mildew. It literally annihilated me. This one here, this is my squash. And again, doing really well. Aside from some of the leaves turning yellow, it's doing really well. And this one is my cucumber. I will tell you, I did not post on my page before. I have it posted. I believe I have it posted on my Facebook page. I had a cucumber plant that was down in my garden, and it was beautiful. It was doing well. I was harvesting off of it, no problem. Downy mildew, like I said, wiped me out. I mean, it wiped me clean. I can't even begin to tell you. It annihilated the whole plant. I ended up having to remove the plant. So now all I have in my garden now is just tomatoes. But it annihilated my plant. And I immediately went and grabbed a cucumber seed. I decided, you know what, let me try a container plant. Popped it in this container here. And this is what I have come back with. And I will tell you, right now, I have five cucumbers growing, and they look great. The plant looks great. Compared to the plant that I had down in my garden, my plant down in the garden, I don't even think ever looked that good. So again, the benefits to container planting, I can't even begin to tell you the benefits that I've reaped just from doing it. One of the things that I like about container planting is that if we have any type of rain, any type of wind, anything that happens to roll through, I'm able to grab them and move them underneath my carport so that they don't get waterlogged, so that the wind doesn't blow off any of the flowers, any of the fruits. They don't get any damage, and that is one of the biggest benefits that I have found to container planting. Because like I said, I have a garden that's down front, and I can't begin to tell you how many times I've had a storm come through and, blow half of, my plant down. And I have them staked very well. And I've just, either that or they're waterlogged because we get torrential downpours and they begin to suffer. So one of the benefits I will absolutely say that I have found is from container planting is that I'm able to move my plants, which keep them from getting waterlogged and keep them from, being blown all over the place. So that is one of the many benefits, at least, that I have found through container planting, aside from the fact that I definitely do not have as many pests at all. I mean, I have tomato plants. These right here, these are my garden gem tomato plants, and I'll move on down the line. These are my newer ones that I've just planted. I have super sweets, yellow pears, and large cherries. This is a garden gem tomato, and going on down the line. And I will tell you, again, they're in containers. I have had almost no problems when it comes to aphids, when it comes to any type of a pest or insect. I literally have had no problems at all. I don't know how it's happening, but I will tell you that I believe it's because I keep them under my carport at night, and during the day when the sun is out, I put them out here like you see. I have all of my stuff out here, sitting out here, and at night I stick them right there under that carport. Hi, Sadie. Can you say hi, Mommy? Oh, she's such a good girl. That's my dog, Sadie. So, again, like I said, many benefits to container planting, at least for me. This is just me. Everything just looks good. Everything is healthy. I have no problems with insects, with any of that. I haven't had to treat anything, well, except for, a fungicide. I have had to do that, but I have not had to treat anything with any kind of insecticide. I haven't had to do any of that, which I think is great. So that's just, again, like I said, one of the many benefits of container planting, at least that I have found. And down here, I have basil, I have parsley, I have cilantro, I have oregano. This is my dill plant. I've done really well with the container plants. And the other part of this, too, is that I have used all different sizes of containers. They say on Google, or they say on whatever, website you look things up, a pot, a certain size pot that you have to use for whatever you're planting. And I'm here to tell you, what they have posted all the time is not necessarily true, because I have cucumber, that cucumber, the zucchini and the squash, they're growing in a 3-gallon pot right now. And they say that you can only grow, they say maximum has to be a 5-gallon pot. Not necessarily true, because, look at them. These are all in 3-gallon pots. The cucumber, the zucchini, and the squash. These are all 3-gallon pots, and this is what I have. And they do have vegetables on them. They do have, I will harvest off of them. So, and again, same thing with my tomatoes. I mean, I have this particular tomato here. This is a garden gem. That is only a 1-gallon pot. That is only a 2-gallon pot. That is a 5-gallon. So I have literally done all different size pots, and it is no different. You know, really the only difference is that the size of the plant. Again, and I'll show you what that looks like. I have, this is a garden gem tomato, and that is in a 1-gallon pot. That is what it looks like. And if you come right here, this is another. Same thing. I got it the same day. Garden gem tomato in a 5-gallon pot. Really, the only difference that you can see is a little bit of size difference. There's that one, and then there's that one. The only difference there is that there's a little bit of a size difference. Other than that, as far as vegetables are concerned and what I'm getting off of them, I'm getting just as many off of the ones that I have in a 1-gallon pot that I am getting off of the 5-gallon pot. So it's, you know, just because you have a smaller pot doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get less fruit, because that's not the case. Some of them, actually, I'm getting more fruit off of the 1-gallons than I am off of the 5-gallon. And they're all mixed with the same thing. I'm using Miracle Grow soil. They're all mixed with the same thing. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know how it's happening, but it's happening. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys at home, you know, the benefits of container planting. And you saw it back there. I have less problems with insects. Overall health of the plant. I find that the overall health of the plant is way better, at least for me. I mean, and now well, you know, I put you down for a second, but here, I'll take you back up. I have a garden, and my garden is, you know, I just had to treat yesterday with, again, I prefer to do everything organically, guys, but unfortunately, in this situation, I had no choice but to treat with chemical, unfortunately. And I have been battling an aphid issue, not just an aphid issue, but just an insect issue, period, with my tomato plants down here. And these are them. I have beefsteaks, I have super sweets, so these are all them. I have been battling an insect problem really badly, and last night I decided to treat with a insecticide, an insecticide. And let's see, let's take a look at how they're doing this morning. I will say that this morning they look a lot better this morning. I do not have as many as many pests as I did yesterday. I will say that what I used, absolutely. Wow, yeah, it did. Absolutely 100% worked. I used a spectricide triazicide on all of the tomato plants here. And I'll tell you what, looking at them today, they look 10 times better. When I tell you I was infested, I was infested. I mean, you could look at the plant and literally just see all of them crawling all over the place. So I will tell you that this morning, I am really not looking at any. I mean, I have a few here and there in some spots, but for the most part, it absolutely works. So for anybody, if they're looking to try a chemical and you've been infested with something, definitely a spectricide triazicide, which is what I used. It absolutely works. Just by looking at them, they look 100 times better. I do not have as many insects on them now. Yeah, so they just look a lot better. So anyway, that's just the benefits of container planting that I wanted to share with you guys at home, that I have found, like I said, less insects, less diseases. I have just done really, really well with it. And again, one of the biggest benefits is that I'm able to move them from essentially any rain, any wind, anything that comes through. So, yeah, that's kind of it. That's all I really wanted to share with you guys was, you know, the benefits that I have found from container planting, and hopefully maybe some of you at home will maybe want to try and plant some stuff in containers and see what happens on your end. But I know that for me, for this girl, container planting is definitely the way to go. I will do a garden again next year, But in the meantime, it is containers for me. I really like it. And aside from that, I've shared with you guys, sorry, I'm a little winded. I've shared with you guys on my YouTube channel before, whether or not anybody has seen it, I am getting ready to do a greenhouse inside my house. I have a very large room that is not being used. So that will be here shortly. We will get into that of showing you the lights that I've purchased and showing you all the different things, the plant stands and all that stuff that I purchased to be able to do this greenhouse. So that will be probably on my next, like coming here shortly. It's coming soon because it's still stuff that I'm working on right now. So that will probably be my next couple of videos. In the meantime, I just wanted to get on here. I wanted to let you guys know the benefits of container planting that I have found. And at that, I'm going to let you guys go. And as always, like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. You guys are awesome.